see someone else drinking a glass of wine, it's actually a massive problem for them, right? They start to feel hot, anger might rise up, and they start to say to themselves, why do they get to drink and I don't? This is unfair. But this is a part, and that is a red flag, not your truth. It is a protector part of you, hurt, scared, trying to soothe your pain through a lie, what we call the liquid lie. Hotness. Do you ever find yourself at a wedding, a pub, a beer garden, and you just can't stop watching them? The glasses are clinking, the laughs are rising, the wine is swirling, and that tightness in your chest and the voice whispering in your head, why can they drink normally and I can't? Hello everybody, my name is Lee Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life, like right now, sweating like a pig in this room. I spend every moment of this life helping other people do the same. How is everybody? In the UK here in Cardiff, it is sweltering, it is boiling, it is our dream, everything that we ever wanted, and everybody is complaining that it's too hot. Yes, you just can't please some people, but if you come from the UK, you know what I'm on about, right? But we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to continue our series on the big questions. This is where we tackle the toughest, the rawest questions that trap people in the liquid lie. And today's question is a cracker. What do I do when I feel resentful that other people can drink normally? Now, I just want to start by humbly saying that personally, I have never, ever in my life felt any resentment towards someone else because they could drink alcohol and I couldn't. And this is because when I made my decision to become alcohol free as fuck, I took the fundamental vow to live a self-led life. So I took my decision to banish alcohol from my life, from self, not from parts, not from fear, not from pressure, but it was actually from freedom. However, because as my role as a guide and a coach here at Stride, I do come across gazillions of people who stop drinking alcohol and feel massive amounts of resentment to their friends, to their work colleagues, to the people they share beds with. And this is because they are taking the vow to stop drinking alcohol from their parts, from these inner child egoic parts of their personality, right? They're not giving up drinking because they want to. They're giving up drinking because they think they have to. Okay. And because of this, they feel punished, they feel left out, and they feel different. So when they see someone else drinking a glass of wine, it's actually a massive problem for them, right? They start to feel hot, anger might rise up, and they start to say to themselves, why do they get to drink and I don't? This is unfair. But this is a part, and that is a red flag, not your truth. It is a protector part of you, hurt, scared, trying to soothe your pain through a lie, what we call the liquid lie. Okay, we are going to have a little break. Okay, so you can go and have a pee or a poo or pick your nose or whatever you need to do. But when you do that, think about this. When you are feeling resentful towards someone else who gets to drink alcohol, what role are you playing? Are you playing the role of victim, hero, or villain? Let that question breathe, and we will be right back. Welcome back to the 1000 Day Sober podcast, where today we are exploring how resentment around normal drinking is actually a doorway to deeper understanding. So let's walk through how to transform this resentment into something more positive. I'm going to give you a five-pointed star plan here, right? Of how to wrap your head around this. Number one, first of all, I want you to recognize that you're below the line, okay? Resentment never, ever comes from self-energy. Never. Okay, it comes from parts energy. It comes from your inner child. It comes from your wounded ego. And when that happens, you are in victim consciousness. You're playing the role of villain, victim, or hero, and you're putting somebody else or something else in an opposing role. Now, usually with resentment, you're playing victim or hero, right? You're looking at other people and you're thinking, poor me, I wish I could drink alcohol, victim. Or you're looking at other people and you're resenting them, but there's a little bit of you that's a little bit smug, right? I should be able to, I'll go over and tell them that they shouldn't be drinking alcohol because I know better than them because LeeDavy told me all about the liquid lie, blah, 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 right? So usually we're in victim or hero consciousness. I would say most of the time when it comes to resentment, we are in victim consciousness. We're playing the role of victim and we're looking at other people and we're making them villains, or we're looking at the scenario, the setup. So let's say we're at a wedding. We are making the wedding the villain. Oh my God. Like weddings are full of alcohol. I can't come to weddings without seeing people drink, right? So what we're doing when we're in this energy, we're blaming other people, we're judging other people while secretly wishing we can join them, right? So that's below the line drama triangle behavior, and it's a clear sign that you are not in self energy, right? Number two. Now you know you're below the line and you're in parts energy. You need to rise above the line into self energy, okay? Into one or more of the 8 C's of self. And when it comes to this question of resentment, I want to share with you 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 8 C's of self that I would use if I was in this spot. I mean, I use them. I resent people every day. So when I'm resenting people and I'm in that energy, these are the 4 C's that I use. Number 1, clarity. Okay, clarity. First of all, know where you are. Know where you are and understand, oh shit, this is resentment. This is what it feels like. And know that you're below the line. That's number 1, having clarity, right? Number 2, compassion. Okay, so first of all, recognize that there is a part of your personality that is hurting right now, right? It is feeling wounded, okay? And then if you're slipping into hero energy, have compassion for the person that you're judging, that you're blaming, that you're resenting, okay? So always remember your outside world mirrors your internal world. Internal world mirrors your outer world, okay? So whenever you're giving compassion outside, you've got to remember to give compassion to yourself as well. So there's a part that's screaming for some alcohol. It needs some love. It needs some compassion. And you can't do that without the 3rd C that I want to talk about today, and that is connection. So you need to find a way, and this is what we do in the Strive method, you need to find a way of discerning the difference between self and parts, learning how to access self, and then learning how to have a conversation with your parts from self. Okay, not to silence it, not to banish it, not to threaten it, but to understand it, to find out why this part is freaking out, what need is missing from its life. So you've got to have that connection, okay? And then finally, another part that is kind of like joined here is curiosity, okay? Ask the part, what need do you believe alcohol is actually going to meet here? So if we drink alcohol, you're suddenly going to feel perfectly whole and complete. What is the need? Is it connection? Is it laughter? Is it joy? Is it fun? Is it madness? Is it chaos? Like what is the need that you need right now, right? So think about that. The need will be, in this case, when you're resenting somebody, it could be connection, celebration, inclusion, peace, whatever, right? But have that curiosity to question the part, what's going on. Talk to yourself, right? It sounds crazy, but that's what you should do. Step 3, make a new choice from self. How do you do that? Let me give you an example of one that happened to me this week. So this week, my school was Zia school was looking for volunteers to go to sports day. And Liza said to me, Lee, why don't you step up this time? Because I'm always volunteering to these things. Why don't you step up and you volunteer? And I said, oh, I don't want to. I'm really busy and work. Do you know how many podcasts I got to create? Blah, 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 blah. But eventually I backed down. Here's the thing. I made the decision to volunteer at Zia Sports Day from parts. And because I made that decision to volunteer from parts, codependent parts, as the week progressed and I got closer and closer to the day of the sports day, I started to resent Liza because I'd made that decision from parts. And I recognized it, right? And I'm the type of person who lives a self-led life. So I want to take radical responsibility for that. So I turned it around. I got into my self energy and I said, you know what? I'm going to choose to volunteer for my daughter's sports day. I'm going to choose to help her parents. I'm going to choose to get a break from work. I'm going to choose to look after and get to know Zia's world a little bit better and her friends. And I'm going to choose to show up for Zia and also for my wife, because it was important to her that one of us showed up, right? That is the energy shift that I'm talking about. Same decision, I ended up going there, but different source of energy. I chose self instead of parts. How does that manifest in drinking alcohol? Like I said earlier, you can make a decision to stop drinking alcohol from parts. Now you're using willpower, you're white knuckling it, you don't like it, or you can make a decision to stop drinking alcohol from self, which is freedom personified, right? I choose not to drink alcohol because my body's a temple, okay? Step 4, release the resentment. But first of all, feel the resentment, sorry. So feel your resentment. If you feel resentful towards somebody, usually you recognize it as a thought, right? Like, yeah, I resent this person. But what does it feel like in the body? I had a beautiful moment yesterday when I was being coached by my coach, when I felt shame and I felt it in my chest. And then as I was focusing on that feeling, it went down into my belly and then it went down into my groin. And I was like, you know what? This shame wants to go somewhere. It wants to ground. It wants to go into the earth. So I allowed my shame to go through my body into the earth and I grounded it. Same with resentment. What does it feel like? Get to know it. Get to understand it. Where does it want to go? What is the outlet? Is it outlet through your mouth? Is it outlet through your nose? Is it through the ground? Is it through the air? Do you put it into your boundary? Like, just practice playing around with that. If you've never done this type of thing before, it does sound really strange, really weird, but just try it, practice. There's no right way of doing this, right? So you let the resentment go, take a big deep breath, and maybe then you backfill that space with gratitude, with appreciation, with joy, with love, right? Really important. Number 5, smash the myth of normal drinking. Let's be honest, there's no normal way to consume a carcinogenic, mood-altering poison that kills 3.3 million people a year. We call it normal drinking, but it's just social compliance. It's just a legacy burden. No one's drinking normally. Everyone is drinking culturally, and you're not missing out. You're just waking the fuck up. So you put those 5 systems into place, and it will be a powerhouse of a killer of removing resentment from your life. Okay? I hope that helps. Today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink alcohol. I won't use someone else's illusion to betray my truth. I will meet my resentment with curiosity. I will meet my parts with compassion, and I will choose to be alcohol free as fuck. Not from fear, not from control, but from self. You are not the one being punished. You are the one, as Queen used to sing, breaking free. I think Queen used to sing it. I don't know. As you go about your day today in the hotness of the sun, if you live in the UK, please reflect on these questions. When was the last time you felt resentful towards someone else who was drinking? When was it? What role were you playing in the drama triangle? Victim, villain, or hero? And what role were you putting them in? What need was going unmet? And can you name the part that was activated and talk to it with love? Pause, reflect, share your answer wherever you are listening to this. Let the world know that you are a striver and you're very proud of it, all right? You can even converse with me on this if you want. Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com or find me on social media at LeeDavyCoaching. Right, I'm going to get back to my kombucha. If this episode touched a nerve, good, because that's where growth lives. So please rate and review the show and send it to somebody else who really needs to move beyond the liquid light. I am not exaggerating when I say you could be saving someone's life by getting them to subscribe to this show. My voice is going, talk too much for sure. If you want to learn more tricks, tools, strategies, and to find a way to rise above the line more consistently into self-energy and to ditch alcohol for good, but to do it in a happy, joyful, fun, humorous way and easily, then the Strive Method is for you. Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com to learn more, or head over to our website, thestrivemethod.com, and join. Much love and strive on. I will be here again tomorrow. Okay, we're going to be talking tomorrow about relationships, 80-20, 50-50, 80-80, all that jazz. You cannot talk about alcohol reliance and a liquid life without talking about relationships. So that's what I'm going to bring you tomorrow. Much love. And today, when you're in that little window where you start to worry that you can't do it, remind yourself and look in the mirror and remind yourself how powerful you are, and everything you need to not drink today is in here. All right, is in here. You've got this. Much love and strive on.